business cycle. The business cycle is a chain that is identified by four main phases of loss and gain, like the moon when it waxes and wanes. The first phase is expansion, where many people may buy a mansion. The second stage is contraction, where spending slows in a chain reaction. In between are peaks and troughs, when the economy levels off. Peaks are high and troughs are low. Unemployment ebbs and flows. Economic downturn causes a recession. Even worse is a depression, like in 29 to 41, when people feared that their lives were done. In recent times, when the economy sputtered, there were a good many people who muttered about the U.S. falling into another Great Depression, even though the economic drop was only cause for a recession. The aggregate demand and aggregate supply are affected when a change of consumers, investors, or input costs is detected. This causes the economy to continue its cycle, where it will continue to spiral and spiral. The composite index of leading indicators includes 10 different factors that people use to predict the movement of the economy and to misuse this information to cry wolf on a recession using said clues. The U.S. right now is on its way to her peak, with consumer spending up at the boutiques. And with improving labor markets, we aren't weak. So go ahead and buy some Clinique.